Today we're going to make a turtle, and we're going to use some of the terminology we've used before. We're going to use a pinch pot. We are going to score some things. We're going to create a coil, and we're working with form today. We're making a 3D object. With the first piece of clay, you're going to take it and roll it into a sphere to the best of your ability. From there, you will take your thumb or your pointer finger, and you're going to make a hole in it that goes almost all the way to the bottom. Now, see if you can make your hand into a capital D shape. This is a capital D, this is a backwards D, but see if you can make it into a D shape with your thumbs pressing like this and your fingers together. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting my thumb in and I'm squeezing and turning and squeezing and turning to make a little pinch pot, okay? And I'm just pinching and turning and pinching and turning all the way around, just like that. Now, what I can do, and I can kind of round the top a little bit. If I want to flatten mine down, if I want mine to be a little flatter, I can take this part and tap it down. I can even kind of round my hand on top of it, and I can tap it down on the table to flatten it out a little bit, okay? If your pot's still kind of round, we can kind of do it into a bit of a oval shape, okay? So this is kind of an oval shape here. If I have any cracks, I can smooth them out, right? I have an option at this stage. I can just keep my shell plain like this, but if I wanted to kind of have that little rippled edge around that it sometimes does, I can take just the very end of my finger and pinch around the edge like this to kind of make that little shell texture down. That's up to you if you want to do it. You don't have to. Okay? So I'm going all the way around like this. And you know, if I do it and it ends up not looking the way I want it to, I can just squish it back into a pinch pot and try again. Okay. Oh, I've got a pretty great turtle shell. Okay. So now I'm going to take off a piece of clay that looks like it would be about the right size for a head. This is about maybe the size of a very small marshmallow, right? Not a mini marshmallow, but not a huge jet puffed one either. Okay, I got that. So what I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to roll this into a sphere, a little ball, okay? And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put my fingers like this on each side, and I can kind of shape it into a little bit of a diamond if I choose, right? So if I go like this, I can kind of shape it into a diamond. If the diamond doesn't work, I can just roll it down and kind of gently squish it into an oval shape, okay? I kind of like the diamond shape though, right? Fingers like this, putting my pointers together like that, and I got this kind of nice little diamond shape for the head. Now I'm going to create a coil, a clay snake. With my other bit of clay, I'm going to squish it into a cylinder, right? So I'm going to start like this, but then when I get there, I'm going to roll it out and I'm trying to roll it evenly too, with my hands going all the way through the clay, but I do not want it to get longer than about 5 to 6 inches. Anything longer than that's gonna be too long, and it's gonna make my legs too skinny. From there, I am going to take the clay, I'm going to cut it in half once, cut it in half twice, and cut it in half again, right? And I can kind of go around, and those kind of pinched edges, I can fold them back on themselves and I can kind of squish them around a bit like this, okay? Got that. I'm kind of like taking those ends that got squished, rounding them a bit, okay? So I got my 4 little cylinders. What I'm going to do with each one, and I can kind of pinch the edges a little bit more to round them a bit, but I want to now turn them into a rainbow shape. So I'm taking each one and I'm turning it into a rainbow shape. So each one of these is going to become a little rainbow shape. So I've got my rainbows. If they look too small for the turtle, I can gently just flatten down my rainbow shapes just a little bit. You know, I can squish them, bend them, but right now I'm kind of just flattening them down just a little bit, all right? All right, got my head. Now I am going to score. I'm going to score 5 places on my shell. I'm scoring at the top for the head. I'm scoring at, if you're thinking about the clock on the wall, I'm scoring at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock for the front flippers. And I'm scoring sort of at 7 o'clock and 5 o'clock for my back flippers, okay? So I've scored 5 different places. What I'm now going to do is with each of these parts, I'm going to score it like this. We're working with plastic clay, so we don't necessarily have to use slip. I'm going to score it. I'm going to press it down, okay? So here's my head. I really need to make sure that these are joined together. So right here on the edge of the turtle shell, I'm really smoothing it together so it becomes one, okay? All right, same here, scoring it, and I want score to touch score. My goal with these is I want them to, all of the curves, all of my rainbow curves, I want to keep going down. So I'm going to keep doing that again. Let me check it's in the right position. I can now flip this over. I can score it, and I can flip it over, and I can press it down. Okay? So there we go. We got that one. Let's see. All of those rainbows need to face down. So I'm doing the same thing here. Score needs to touch score. I'm taking it, and I'm just going to press it on down. Just like that. And if I actually do a lot of smoothing, it's going to stick together. So that's the number one thing that's going to keep this connected today. I'm scoring it. I'm making sure the scores are touching, but I'm really smoothing it onto the shell. So now I'm going to flip my turtle over. Oh my gosh, it turned out so cute, right? If I have a little time, I can smooth the pieces a bit. I can shape them more if I want to. Be great if you could take your turtle and give it 2 little eyes like this. And we have some other tools. If you finish early, you can take these and you can kind of dot down some little dots for the arms and the legs, or maybe draw a design onto the shell.